So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, Chapter 27, Text number 2. Sa esh yarhi prakrtir guneshu avivishajyate aham kriya vimhudatma kartasmiti abhimanyate. Saha, that very living entity, Eshaha, this, Yarhi, when Prakriti of material nature, Guneshu, in the modes, Abhivishajyate, is absorbed, Ahankriya, by false ego, Bimudha, bewildered, Atma, the individual soul, Karta, the doer, Asmi, I am, Iti, thus. Abhimanyate, he thinks. Very important shloka. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the soul is under the spell of material nature and false ego, when the soul is under the spell of material nature and false ego, then what happens? Identifying his body as the self. Okay, identifying his body as the self, he becomes absorbed in material activities, and by the influence of false ego, he thinks that he is the proprietor of everything. Okay, so when the jiva in the walking and dream state becomes absorbed in the gunas of Prakriti, Satoguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna, then that creates a false ego, and bewildered by that ego, he thinks that he is the doer. Ahankriya Bimhudatma Guneshwa Avivishajyate. Because of the modes of material natures, this ahankar is there, and this full living entity thinks karta smiti abhimanyate. He thinks that he is the doer. Okay, he is the doer, he is the proprietor of everything. This home belongs to me, this country is my country, this is, and body, he thinks he is the body only. There is the mistake here from the Lila. So when this jiva gets closely related to the qualities of Prakriti, Atma, jiva is Atma. So when this jiva gets closely related to the qualities of Prakriti, then through the quality of ego, it gets infatuated and begins to think and regard that I am the doer. Okay, so how the jiva is contaminated. The previous shloka was explaining about the purity of the soul. Okay, the first shloka. In these first 5 shlokas of this chapter number 27, what is explained is the jiva in the conditioned state. Okay, so the first shloka talks about the purity of the jiva, that the living entity is unaffected by the material modes of nature, and because he is unchanging, does not, and living entity because living entity does not claim proprietorship, he remains apart from the reactions of the modes. Okay, although abiding in a material body, just as the sun remains aloof from its reflection of water. So the purity of the soul, if the soul, anyway soul, okay, no problem, even though in the material body, but if soul remains untouched by material modes, does not claim proprietorship, does not claim the controllership, then he remains away from the modes. Okay, when I want to have that controllership, that proprietorship, then I come into the modes of material natures, under the control of modes, Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. But if I am considering myself as a servant of Krishna and just serving Krishna, then there is no such problem. Okay, then soul remains pure. So that is about the purity of the soul. That without claiming the proprietorship, soul remains unchanged and remains pure. And then this shloka talks about contamination. That when the soul is under the spell of material nature and false ego, okay, what is that? Identifying his body as the self. So when he thinks that I am this body, okay, so what is that consciousness? I am the body consciousness. So everybody has this idea that I am Indian, I am American. This is very important thing. That is why again and again this is coming in Shastra, and Prabhupada also brings in his talks again and again, in the purports again and again. Bhagavad Gita started from this discussion only, that you are not the body, you are the soul. Because when I think I am the body, I become absorbed in the bodily activities, in the material activities. And that is called false ego. Ego means actually the identity. False ego means false identity. Okay, that is why they have this card. They have this ID card. So that is, the ID card will say you are Indian, you are American, you are Australian, you are Canadian, like that they will say. So there, it is a material identity. It's not original. Originally you are spirit soul. Mera Aadhar, Meri Pehchan. It's written there. That this is my identity. And if you read there, it says you are Indian, you are male, your name is this. So all these are your identity. And then you are husband, you are somebody's brother, you are somebody's son, you are somebody's father. So with different people, different situations, you keep changing your identity, right? You are employee, you are manager, you are subordinate. So many identities are there. So as many identities, as many coverings.
प्रभु, अब हमारी यात्रा है, अब हम कथा में जा रहे हैं। अब जैसा जो हो, आपका घर है, आपका आश्रम है, जैसा जो हो एडजस्टमेंट। हम 7 दिन के बाद आ रहे हैं। जब हम लोग आ जाएंगे तब जाएंगे आप लोग, तब तक यहीं आप रहेंगे। कोई गलती हो क्षमा करना।
मेरा क्लास चल रहा है, आप कब तक आएंगे?
8वें दिन आ जाएंगे।
अच्छा ठीक है।
गुरुजी भी आ जाएंगे।
अभी आज नहीं आए वो?
नहीं, अब बस आने वाले हैं, आपसे मिलते जाएंगे।
हमसे मिलेंगे ना?
हाँ, अभी यहीं आएंगे।
और आप नहीं मिलेंगे लेकिन?
हाँ, मैं कर रहा हूँ।
ओके ठीक है।
तो फिर इसके बाद में लौट के जैसा जो हो, आपका घर है, आपका आश्रम है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। और जो समस्या हो, मेरा नंबर है आपके पास, मुझे तुरंत फोन करेंगे, तुरंत व्यवस्था हो जाएगी।
ठीक। Okay. So when the soul is considering himself as body, he thinks like I am Indian, I am American. So this is an identity. Based on this identity, we act. When we understand that, okay, I am employee, I am manager, I am boy, I am girl, husband, wife, father, son. So different situation, different situation, we have different identities. So that is why it is temporary identities, because it keeps changing. And then these identities are actually the coverings on the soul. These are different designations only covering the souls. So because of those covering only, soul is forgetting his original identity. Now what is that? What is original identity? Original identity is Jiver Sarupa Krishna Nityadas. servant of Krishna. So when he understands that I am actually servant of Krishna, then he will act accordingly, because based on my identity I will act. Like if you go to your child's school, so there you have a feeling that I am the father of this son, is this boy. So you will act accordingly, right? Now, if somebody goes there, some father of a child goes there, and he starts behaving like a teacher there, then everybody will say, you are not teacher, no, so don't act like a teacher. You are just a guardian. So that is your position. That's what you should do. So what kind of sense of identity we have, based on that sense we act, you know. So that is why the original problem is that we are not able to realize our original identity. We are not able to have that sense that I am servant of Krishna. Because once I am having that sense, I will easily act as servant of Krishna. Then there won't be any difficulty in performing bhakti. Yes? So, by the influence of this false ego, false identity, the soul is thinking that he is the proprietor of everything. Okay? That's the thing. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Actually, the conditioned soul is forced to act under the pressure of the modes of material nature. Forced to act. So as soon as, so here it is mentioned, Prabhupada is saying that conditioned soul means Baddha. Baddha, he is conditioned by three modes, Satuguna, Rajoguna, Tamaguna. These three ropes, the Maya, material nature, has three ropes, Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamaguna. You might have seen that picture of ISKCON, right? Three ropes, they are binding one person. It's like the puppet show. So one puppet is tied with ropes, and person who is driving the ropes, he will control the puppet. So like that, this jiva is under the control of this material nature and bound by these three ropes, Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamaguna. Guna means rope actually. In Sanskrit, the word guna means rope. So three gunas. So these bound with three things, three ropes. And that is what we call conditioned. Okay. That is conditioned means what? I am conditioned. I am conditioned to eat through mouth only. Okay. I am conditioned to see through eyes only. This is called condition. Conditioned soul. Somebody has to go for a nature call. He has to go. That's it. Condition. You cannot just do anything unconditional. Okay. Krishna is beyond conditions. So conditioned soul is forced to act under the pressure of the modes of material nature. So conditioned soul is forced by the material nature to act accordingly. Why conditioned soul? Why soul is under the pressure of modes? Because soul becomes leaves Krishna. When soul considers himself as body or something else than a servant of Krishna, so immediately he comes under the control of Maya, material nature. So the living entity has no independence. When he is under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is free. I repeat, when the soul is under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is free. But when under the impression that he is satisfying his senses, he engages in sense gratificatory activities, he is actually under the spell of material nature. Very clear Prabhupada wrote here. Okay. See, very clear thing that if a soul, Jivatma, we all are Jivatma. So if we are acting under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as per the instruction of Krishna, right? Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. So what is that instruction? Krishna gave instruction, and they are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So if we act according to the direction of Krishna, then we are free. Okay. So accepting, this is called illusion, the biggest illusion, that accepting the control of material nature, one thinks I am free, but actually he is free when he is under the control of Krishna. Okay, so that was the illusion, that Jiva thought that when he will leave Krishna he will become free. So but he don't know that as soon as you leave the shelter of Krishna, immediately Maya will catch. Okay. So as soon as for the Bhogvancha, Jeev Bahirmukhe, when he becomes Bahirmukhe, he turns his face from Krishna, immediately Chapatiya Maya, immediately Maya will catch. So why? Because the constitutional position, like the Jiva is actually Tatastha Sakti, either this side or that side. So if not serving Krishna, then automatically serving Maya. If not under the control of Krishna, then automatically under the control of Maya. You know? So there is no situation where you are not in the control of Krishna, at the same time you are not under the control of Maya. That situation is not at all possible, impossible. One has to be under the control of Krishna or Maya. And when one is under the control of Maya, so anyway, in that way, he is under control of Krishna, because Maya is working under whose control? Krishna's control. Maya adhyakchen prakriti suyate sacharachara. Right? So that is called ahankara vimudat. Prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma karta hamiti manyate. He thinks I am doing, but actually everything is done by material nature. Right? Okay, so when Jiva is acting under the direction of Krishna, he is free. But when Jiva acts under the spell of material nature, he is bound. And why he acts under the material spell of material nature? He is having a wrong impression that he is satisfying his senses. So with this impression that he is satisfying his senses, he engages in sense gratificatory activities. This is the illusion. Yeah, so he thinks that he is enjoying and satisfying his senses. So he engages himself in the sense gratificatory activities under the spell of material nature. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Prakriti kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasa ahankara vimunatma kartaham iti manyate. One acts according to the particular modes of nature he has acquired. Guna refers to the quality of nature. He is under the qualities of nature, but he falsely thinks that he is the proprietor. So actually he is acting based on the gunas which he is under control of. Okay. So like somebody is under Satoguna, he will act accordingly. Rajoguna, he will act accordingly. Tamoguna, he will act accordingly. Right? Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained the activities of Satoguni, Rajoguni and Tamoguni. So a person acts according to particular modes of nature he has acquired. Guna means quality of nature. So he is under the qualities of nature, but he falsely thinks that he is the proprietor. Actually he is controlled by the mode of that guna. So say Satoguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. But he thinks that actually he is the doing everything, and he is doing because of the influence of that particular mode, but he don't have that idea. He thinks I am free and I am doing everything by my own. That is the illusion. So this a false sense of proprietorship, because he thinks I am the father of these children, I am the owner of this house. This is all false proprietorship. So because of this false sense of proprietorship can be So this misunderstanding, this false sense of proprietorship can be avoided simply by engaging oneself in devotional service under the direction of the Supreme Lord or his bona fide representative Arjuna or Guru Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so just simply by engaging ourselves in bhakti, devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, we can come out of this false sense of proprietorship. So, how we will do this devotional service? We need direction. Alone we cannot do. Why? Because anything you want to learn, you cannot do alone. Okay, you cannot do alone. You need this thing, some guidance. You want to become a football player, you need a coach. You want to become cricket player, you need coach. You want to become army soldier, you need a guide, coach there. You want anything you want to become in the life, you need a guide, a coach, right? Some training. Okay, anything you need. If you want to drive, you need coach. You want to become a chef, cook, you need some training, right? Even in the life, when you want to walk, somebody should be there to help you in walking. Okay, so everything when we want to learn, we need a coach. But so how come for learning devotional service we don't need a coach? We need a spiritual master, a guide, and that spiritual master should be proper representative, bona fide representative of Krishna. Because Krishna, we want to learn about Krishna, na? Right? Like if you want to learn about Indian Army, then you have to learn from the representative of Indian Army, and that representative should be recognized by Indian Army, by Government of India. So in that way, when you want to learn about Krishna, about bhakti, you need a bona fide representative, a spiritual master, and that spiritual master is bona fide when he is authorized, recognized by Krishna. Okay, Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita was trying to accept for himself the responsibility for killing his grandfather and teacher in the fight. He wanted to accept for himself this responsibility, but he became freed from that proprietorship of action when he acted under the direction of Krishna. So he wanted, Arjuna was having this idea to have that proprietorship of this killing and fighting and everything, but when he took shelter of Krishna, he could not, he Sishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam, I am taking shelter of you as a disciple, I am your disciple now, please guide me, dear Krishna. He said, stop this, I don't want any friendly. They were actually very good friend, Krishna and Arjun, and relative wise they were cousins. So he said, no more relation, no more friendship. Now I am your disciple, you become my guru and guide me. Okay, so Arjuna accepted Krishna as his spiritual master, and then under the direction of Krishna, he became freed from this false proprietorship. He fought, but he was actually freed from the reactions of fighting. Now he fought for the pleasure of Krishna. As per the instruction of Krishna, he did the battle. He fought the battle, but he did not get any karma, any reaction. Why? We acted as per instruction of Krishna and as per for the pleasure of Krishna. So when we act for the pleasure of Krishna as per the instruction of the spiritual master, Guru Krishna, we don't get any karma. And when we act for ourselves with our own ideas, we are under the influence of karma, conditioning. Okay, so Arjuna fought, but he was actually freed from the. So by fighting, by same fighting activity, Arjuna might have got into a big karma, big reaction of this fighting. But by the same fighting, he actually got freed of all the reactions. Okay, how? Because if he does the fighting for his own sense gratification, by his own understanding, by his own idea of his own sense of proprietorship and doership, he is under the reaction of karma. But he did based on Krishna's instruction to please Krishna. So this activity became the devotional service and he became freed from the reactions of fighting. Although in the beginning when he was non-violent, unwilling to fight, the entire responsibility was upon him. So if he does not fight also, but that is his own idea that I don't want to fight. So then for not fighting he will get karma. Because he is a Kshatriya, he is not doing his duty, so he will get the reaction. So you see, this is the little complicated thing. If he fights, then also he will get some karma. Not fight, then he will get bad karma. But here, because Krishna is he's acting as per the instruction of Krishna, so he got good reaction. He got freed of the everything by the same activity. Activity is the same. So the point is not the activity, is the intention which matters. Of course, activity also matters, but main is intention. So that is the difference between liberation and conditioning. A conditioned soul may be very good and act in the mode of goodness, but still he is conditioned under the spell of material nature. A devotee, however, acts completely under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Thus, his actions may not appear to be of a very high quality to the common man, but the devotee has no responsibility. Okay, very important to understand. The conditioned soul, his condition means he is under the control of Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. So, suppose a conditioned soul is very good and he acts in the mode of goodness. Okay, mode of goodness means he does lot of charity, feeding many peoples, giving donations, lot of things. But his idea is he is having this sense of proprietorship. I am doing this. Okay, he becomes like that. That sense of doership, proprietorship is there. I am this, like that he does. So he'll get the reaction. So even though it is a good activity of Satoguna, but in order to get that reaction of that good activities, of course good activity will bring good result. But to have that result, he has to come back in this world, take another birth. So like somebody gave so much charity and all, so much good he did for poor people. Then maybe next birth he will become a king, a very big rich man. But anyway, it is in the material world. Why? Because you did things as per the under the direction of modes, this material nature. So you will get this reaction. You are under the cycle of karma. So even though it is a good activity under the mode of goodness, but still the result will keep you in this material world only. So our goal is not to be in the material world. Maybe even it is the position in the heavenly planet, Swarga, we don't want that. Why? Because still it is in the material world. Brahma Bhuvanan Loka. From the Brahma's planet to the down to the earth, everybody is subjected to death. Everybody, even from Swarga, they will fall down when the Punya Karma is finished. So they will come back to here on this same place. So what is the use? Okay. So they will come down. Chine punya martaloke vishanti. As soon as the punyas are cheen, they are finished. The account is finished. They will come back here. So next they will do some more karma. Suppose bad, then they go to down. Good karma, they go to up. So upside down. So they are doing this up down, up down. What is the benefit? Whether you go to heaven or hell, anyway you are in the material world. So the goal is to get out of the material world. For that you have to do Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So of course, So these activities of devotional service, Shravanam and Kirtanam, these activities are beyond the three modes. Vishuddha Sattva. Okay, beyond Satoguna even. But if somebody is in Satoguna, that's not too bad. Because Satoguna will help you to come to the Bhakti level. So good. Satoguna is somewhat good. And in order to perform Bhakti, first one can come to Satoguna and then go further. Right? So there's activities we have to do. So Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasanam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasanam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, these all activities, 9, they will bring one to Vishuddha Sattva level, pure goodness, and beyond the three modes, beyond this, the control of Satoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. Okay, so one should perform Shravanam, Kirtanam, Bhakti, chanting Hare Krishna, hearing Krishna Katha, taking Krishna Prasadam. 3 things very important: Krishna Katha, Krishna Nam, Krishna Prasad. 3 things if one takes, very soon, very quickly he comes to pure goodness, beyond 3 gunas. Okay, so when one is beyond 3 gunas, he will be liberated from this world, and not only liberated, he will go to the Goloka Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Anand Koti Vaishnavin ki jai. So today we will discuss second shloka only. Okay. Third we will take tomorrow. Okay. Third and fourth and fifth we can do tomorrow. Hare Krishna. You have any question, you can ask. Any question is there? Okay. Thank you for joining. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.